Hello, everyone. I joined my friend Eric here. Say hi, Eric.
Hi.
In today's video, we're going to be talking about the original 1937 Walt Disney's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Eric, what do you think of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs?
I think it's pretty good. It's a classic. I mean, it's a little bit corny by today's standards, but
A little bit. True. I feel like even though it's a good movie, it does have like some, flaws and outdated thing, but at the same time, it doesn't stop me from still enjoying for how like really great of a movie it is.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a movie that really runs on emotions. There's not a lot of story, but there's a lot of comedy. There's a lot of horror elements.
There is. No, I totally agree. Like, as a kid, I don't think much about it, but now, like, watching as an adult, I see how it can be very creepy at times, especially, like, when Snow White runs away from the hunter so she can get away from the queen, and also, or, like, when the queen turned into a mean old witch. That scene still, like, holds up and still, like, can be terrifying for kids to watch today.
I mean, that looks like it's from, like, Jekyll and Hyde or something.
Yeah, right, no. I agree. So cool. That does kind of feel like Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even though, like, I think, like, Snow White is, like, okay, but I don't know if she's, like, the most well-developed for, like, at the time for a Disney princess compared to what was to come later for Disney princess movies.
Oh, she's more developed than, like, Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty has less personality than Snow White somehow.
Well, okay, maybe true. Snow White does have some personality to a degree.
Cinderella has more, and neither of them have as much as, like, Ariel or Belle, but yeah. So.
Right. But you can also, like, make the argument, too, that maybe, like, Snow White's a little bit too, like, cheerful at times, and...
to the point where it's kind of funny, yeah.
What's that?
To the point where it's kind of funny. She was almost just murdered, but she's still so happy.
I know, right? She's like always like happy and jolly, like all the time. And, even though she was scared, of course, of like the darkness and scared of when she thought she was going to be murdered by the hunter.
You ever think that she just sounds like Minnie Mouse?
Okay, I could see too.
She's like a Minnie Mouse and Betty Boop.
I could see that to some degree. To a degree, yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that. Yeah. Yeah. I remember like my uncle telling me how like the original Snow White story is much very darker. Let's just say there's no singing or Snow White communicating with animals in the book.
I don't think it's that much. I mean, surprisingly, I don't think the Disney movies it's still pretty dark.
Well, I think to me it has a balance of like dark and light at the same time to a degree.
But I think they didn't cut anything really. From the
right.
Story. The difference at the end of the original, the witches need to like walk on hot coals. They torture her at the end, whereas in this one she just dies.
Right. Like lightning strikes her.
Yeah, she doesn't die in the original story. She's just tortured.
Right, for eternity. I get it. And punished probably because of her jealousy of how like Snow White was very beautiful and
yeah.
Yeah, she was jealous of, like, thinking that she was not the most beautiful of them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, of course, I think, like, with how iconic the film is, everybody knows the famous magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest of them all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the mirror.
What's that?
I like the mirror in the movie. He's kind of got an attitude.
A little bit.
Like, he's telling the queen... Like, he's kind of... It's almost like he's, just messing with the queen. He's like trying to get her riled up.
Yeah, well, I guess it works, especially how when she thought Snow White was dead, thinking that she had her heart in that box thing, but nope, Snow White is still alive.
It's not, the whole thing is it's not her looks that makes Snow White fairer than the queen, it's her personality and her attitude.
That's true.
Because I think the queen is just as pretty, but she's just very cold.
Edgy.
And edgy, yeah.
Yeah, but no, but very, very well, I said
bitchy, her crown.
Yeah, well, we don't even know what her hair color is.
Yeah. Very pointy. Yeah, I never thought about that, because Snow White has very round hair, and he's like very pointy.
Right, and obviously very ugly when she becomes the witch.
Which is ironic because she wants to get rid of Snow White to be the fairest, to be the prettiest woman, but then she becomes the ugliest woman.
Yeah, right.
You're like, wait a minute.
Well, then again, if she
And then
just
did she have a plan to change back afterwards? We don't know.
no, we don't. But it's funny you say that though. It's not like if she had just shown up at the house just as herself and serving the poison apple, then it'd be too obvious for knowing who this was for Snow White.
Yeah, well, she just like try to apologize, like, I'm sorry, you got all,
Yeah, but I
you got on the wrong foot.
what do you think of the Seven Dwarfs?
They're all right. They're I mean, no, I like they're funny, but yeah, it's more like the movie is more like Seven Dwarfs and Snow White. It's like Snow White is like to the, but I like them better than like the mice and Cinderella.
Really?
Yeah, because I find them annoying.
Interesting.
Sometimes, like Gus.
I guess I never gave much of a thought about the mice and Cinderella being annoying.
Purpose.
Right.
But I like Grumpy. He's my favorite.
Really, Grumpy. It's funny how like Grumpy is like so mean, but he kind of like changes a little bit, especially when he grows attached to Snow White. And
Grumpy has the most character development in the movie. He becomes when Grumpy cries. Like when Snow White is, in the coma and Grumpy cries, I'm like, wow.
I know.
You know it's serious now. The one character that was angry is now actually showing emotions.
Right, emotion and compassion and also sympathy.
Yeah.
Right. As a kid, like watching, or even today, like when I watch it, I'm like, wow, Grumpy went from being so like very mean, but then eventually he grew attached to liking Snow White. Especially when they're off to work, he tells her like stay out of trouble, and she gives him a kiss, and he's like, annoyed. But then as he walks away, he feels a little happy deep down. But then it's like, my manliness back.
He's too afraid to show his emotions.
Yeah, exactly.
Very relatable.
Yeah,
I like Doc. And Doc is funny because Doc he's supposed to be the smart one, but he always mispronounces.
That's true. No, I
agree. He's
kind
of a big thing where he says things in the wrong order.
That's true. I agree. He basically has a stuttering problem sometimes. He has
some of the funniest lines.
Yeah.
Because there's like something he says. There's a couple lines where it's almost an innuendo the way he gets it wrong.
Yeah. Like, true. Always mispronouncing words all the time.
Check every nook and granny. Crooked granny. This is crooked granny. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's funny because my dad has a mug of Doc because my father is a medical doctor.
Yeah, oh yeah. I don't think he's really. Where's his
I don't
MD?
think so.
Where's Doc's MD?
Right, well that's true, yeah. But that's the joke that we gave my dad, though.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
But still.
and
it's also.
Yeah,
I would be surprised. There's like tons of like maybe like internet like quizzes of which Seven Dwarf are like personality wise. Yeah. Well, one thing I feel like I got a combination between sneezy. I can get grumpy. Everyone can get grumpy sometime. I'm not that grumpy.
Bashful.
Yeah. Like what you can be bashful.
Oh, sometimes, yeah.
I guess. Yeah, but sneezy definitely, especially allergy season.
Oh, I was just sneezy yesterday.
There you go.
I was drinking. What was I drinking? Like coffee or milk, and I like almost sneezed it onto the table.
Oh, that's nasty.
Yeah, no, it was.
Yeah.
Sneezy was voiced by veteran comedian actor Billy Gilbert, who was known for being in a lot of Laurel and Hardy short movies.
Dopey is
It's kind of like
it's the one that everyone remembers other than Grumpy, but yeah.
What's that?
Oh, what were you saying about Dopey, sir?
He's kind of like Harpo Marx, like kind of like one of the.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, because he can't talk. Sometimes he's not always so bright. Sometimes. but
Yeah.
still lovable Dopey.
Yeah, because I was watching Marx Brothers movies a couple months ago, and I made the connection. Oh yeah, the Dopey's just copying Harpo, kind of.
I highly doubt that Walt Disney was inspired from Harper from the Marx Brothers, but this is still a good analysis right here.
I don't know, they're pretty popular, but yeah.
And yes, my friend Eric is right. The Marx Brothers back in the 1930s were a very big comedy group at this time period.
Yeah.
It's also funny, but at the same time, it's mean, rude. They bully and treat Dobby poorly. When the dwarves let Snow White sleep in their rooms, they steal the only pillow they have. Dobby makes the best of it, using one feather as a pillow.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
It's also funny when Dobby goes back for more than one kiss from Snow White.
Oh yeah. Oh, I remember. Yeah. That's funny.
It is funny. Snow White's a very beautiful woman. Of course, Dobby wants more than one kiss from her.
Yeah. It's like, hey, wait a minute. No, you don't. I mean, she gave him two, but not a third. I think.
No, she doesn't give it, but he wanted a third, but...
No.
Snow White is like a mother to the dwarves. She tells them to wash their hands before eating dinner. It shows that the dwarves are not Mr. Clean.
No.
When the dwarves come home from work, they see how clean their cottage is. It's like Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
Yeah, and they haven't taken a bath in like years, probably.
No. They're not very Mr. Clean.
No.
You said you listened to a podcast on Snow White. Is there anything you want to tell me? You remember from that?
They're just going through the movie.
Okay. Like, they talk about the history of the movie?
Oh, a little bit. Yeah, there's a couple deleted scenes I learned about.
Yeah.
Fully animated. Well, it was fully animated. It wasn't put to color though. It was music in your soup, because throughout the whole movie they're talking about making soup, and they had a cut song from music in your soup.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I remember, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
It's animated, but it's only in pencil.
I remember being a little kid in the 2000s when Snow White first came out on DVD, when DVD was just becoming more popular instead of VHS tapes. I remember watching the behind-the-scenes bonus feature scenes and watching the deleted scenes, and like you said, they were hand-drawn, not fully animated with color.
Yeah, no, because the animator, Ward Kimball, he spent a year and a half, I think it was a year and a half, animating the scene only for it to be cut, and he was very upset. But at least it got aired on TV in the 50s or 60s, and then and then it got put on the DVDs, of course, so it didn't get completely lost. But it didn't. And they made, like I said, they recorded the song and everything. It was all ready to be put in the movie. So just needed color. Yeah.
I guess Walt Disney didn't have the time to put this scene in the movie when the film was about to be released, I guess.
Well, they thought it was too long. It was too many songs in a row. Too many scenes with because they wanted to get back to the Queen. That's why it was right before the Queen turns into the witch. That was why they cut it. It would have slowed down the movie. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, I see. Interesting.
It was after the washing scene. It would have been.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Do you actually like any songs in the movie?
Oh, I like most of the songs. Yeah.
Like, I like the song "Just Whistle While You Work."
Yeah, and Hi Ho.
Yeah, that's a good song. Yeah. Someday my friends will come.
Yeah.
He does come in the end.
He does come. Oh, that's how. Wait a minute. No, not like that.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
And that was when you used to have photos developed. You used to be able to sing that.
Right.
Someday my prince will come.
Now people will have a different interpretation of it.
like with a T, yeah.
Right. Actually, here's one thing about this film. This actually saved Walt Disney from bankruptcy.
Right. Well, it also put him in bankruptcy.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's true. It did make. But then
they get their money back. More than their money back. But yeah.
Right. Especially this was considered the first animated film for the time. This is what got Walt Disney on track of being a big shot at the time.
It's the first American full-length animated.
Bro,
it's the first color feature-length animated movie.
Yeah,
because they were prior to this other ones, but yeah, they weren't.
Right, I feel like prior to this, it was mostly animated shorts that were popular that people would go see at a movie theater before the movie starts. Seeing a 5-minute cartoon short.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just,
Oh yeah, sorry.
I kind of like wish Disney would go back to this kind of style of animation. The only downside is it's a lot of money.
Well, it's the unions. They're different unions than the 3D.
That's true. Yeah.
And that's why that's I don't know if that's true, but that's the theory I heard as to why they got rid of all their or they converted all their staff to doing the computer animation.
Right.
Because CG are different unions, and they could pay them less.
Yeah. I also heard this. Well, I don't know how true this is. There's been rumors about like Disney possibly bringing back the tradition 2D animation, but I'm not holding my breath on that part.
They did for that short Once Upon a Studio, but they haven't.
Well, that's true. Yes, they did, but
they had to bring a bunch of people out of retirement for it. They didn't have the people in house to do it.
Yeah. I think Snow White had an appearance in that, like Once Upon a Time in a Studio. Yeah, but I don't know if she had a voice part, and also I don't know
she
if
did.
it was
She sang
okay,
at the end.
Okay. Oh yeah, right.
That was the thing. We had all the current voices, and some older voices in that because they.
Well, I know they used a little AI. I know they used a little bit of AI voiceover for certain.
They didn't use AI. What they used is old.
Oh right, old recording. You're right.
So for Robin Williams in that, they had deleted. They had outtakes of him as the genie that they used.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It wasn't AI. It was just recordings they had.
Okay, I thought it. I guess I misread that wrong a while ago when I saw that Disney like 100th anniversary short, and yeah, I haven't seen that in a while. But anyway,
there's reference in Wish. There's a big reference to Snow White in that all of her friends are supposed to be modeled after the dwarves. So she has 7 friends in that movie, and they all have the same personalities.
I know that Snow White was in the Wreck-It Ralph sequel, and she was voiced oddly enough by Gal Gadot, who was recently playing the Wicked Witch in the Wicked Queen in the remake of Snow White.
I knew that. I didn't know that she voiced Snow White in.
She did.
That's so weird. Okay.
That is so weird and ironic. And did you see the remake?
No, not yet.
Me neither. I have no interest.
But I'll wait. So it's something.
I'm not desperate. I go to my grave, never watch it. Plus, I'm not really that much of a fan of Rachel Zegler that much.
Yeah. Well, I liked her in West Side Story.
Oh, that was alright. I didn't really give her all the praise and hype she got for that.
I thought she was good, but anyway.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't know what it wants to be. It's like either it's trying to be true to the original, but it's also changing a lot at the same time. And I'm very confused by it. So we'll see.
Well, anytime I saw a trailer of the remake, my brain shut off. I didn't really care that much to.
The one song I really liked from it. They added a bunch of new lyrics to Hi Ho.
Really?
It doesn't have many lyrics at all, and I like that version of it.
Interesting. Well, I know the original
but I don't like all of the new songs. But yeah.
Well, the original is just hi ho, hi ho, hi ho. It's off.
Well, they added they introduced all the dwarves. They're like, he said like they have lines where he's like, "I'm sleepy. We know."
I forgot to mention. I do like the song. I do like the song when they're in the steel mine, like singing "dig, dig, 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 dig."
Yeah, well, I don't think they got that in the new one, which I did, but that was kind of
actually, that was like think about it, Pocahontas.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
But but again, I don't know if that's where they got the idea of the song for Pocahontas, or they just made it up with just different lyrics, or anyway, different story. Actually, one thing I want to say too, my grandmother saw the original Snow White when it came out back in the 30s. Yeah, wow. But sadly, she's no longer with us.
Yeah, I don't know about my grandparents. Any of them did. They would have all been kids.
Right. Yeah. Well, my grandma was like around 4 years old when Snow White came out in 1937. But it's cool to say that I have a grandmother who saw the original Snow White when it came out back in the 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think if my grandparents were alive today, they'd be insulted with the remake. Well, because I used to watch the original Snow White with my grandparents when I was a kid. Yeah. Well, it's like the same how like I show my niece and nephew Lion King, Aladdin, the stuff I grew up watching.
I just showed my nephew seeing Lion King, but then he was getting really antsy at dinner, so I put on Lion King, and it shut him up, and it was great. No, really though, it was great. And I watched a little bit of it with him, and then
Right.
he didn't want to. He didn't want to watch Lion King, and then a couple minutes in, then he's absorbed in it, and then he didn't want to leave.
That's
It's
funny. Well, I remember a couple of years ago, well, my niece loves Disney princesses, obviously, and I showed her Snow White. She enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Like I said, passing the torch, just showing the classics.
Right.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah. But I highly doubt my sister will let her watch the remake.
Oh.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say about Snow White that comes to mind, or?
Yeah, just the prince. He sounds a lot like Gaston when he sings.
You think so?
That baritone. Yeah. It's very funny because they never exchange names.
No, they don't. I read supposedly his name is even though it's not really official, but supposedly his name is Florin, but I don't know,
Yeah,
whatever.
I heard that too from some of the books and stuff.
Yeah. And one thing about Snow White, even before we had this recent Disney remake, there have been like other like different versions of like Snow White. Because the story's public domain, they made like other different versions of it. Like they did The Huntsman from 2012, which I heard is good, but I've never seen it. And there was Mirror Mirror from 20. That also came out the same.
I
didn't see that
because that's the Queen. And then Snow White: A Tale of Terror is like kind of a horror style version of it. It's so good. Oh my gosh! I think from the 90s.
I mean, what is it called? Snow White what?
Snow White: A Tale of Terror. And it's the same story, but they frame it like a horror movie.
Oh yeah, I've heard of this, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, 97.
Interesting. No. Yeah.
That was one of the versions, I think.
Gotcha. With Sigourney Weaver.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess can't really do anything else.
Snow White, though, I don't think.
No, I don't think no. She's probably playing the queen in the movie.
Yeah. Yep. I forgot, but yeah, I think she plays the queen. Mm-hmm.
No surprise there. It's not like she was 20 to be playing Snow White.
Right.
Yeah. I'll have to check that movie out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I know there's a Snow White version with. Did you ever hear of Smallville, the show?
Yeah, with the Superman.
The actress who played Lana Lang was in a Superman like made for television movie, but I never saw it.
Made for television movie. You said Superman. Yeah. Okay.
No, my point is the actress from Smallville, Kristen Crook, who played Lana Lang, she basically played she played Snow White, but in a made for television film. I'm not sure. I don't know anything about it. I just know that she was Snow White. That's all I know.
And there was a show called Once Upon a Time. Oh no, I'm sorry. No, there was a show called. That's not even what I was going to say. I like the Snow White in that, but that's not what I meant. I'm getting it. There's a show called the 10th Kingdom, which was all these fairy tales, and I had a book Snow White that I liked. But also, Once Upon a Time, Snow White is one of the main characters. The Disney show, and they do a lot with her.
Disney
was supposed to do a prequel, by the way, to Snow White. This was a canceled thing. That was starring the dwarves, and
Interesting.
And then it was one of their direct-to-video. And then they did make a show called 7D, which was also about the dwarves, but it had they looked completely different.
Right.
Animation, different designs.
Well, I heard supposedly they wanted to make a direct, like, sequel, like, animated, like, direct-to-video sequel, but they got in for that to even make a sequel to Snow White.
Yeah, but
It
they
might have
made
been
a
a crappy
prequel.
one.
I think. I think a
They
prequel would be better because they don't really explore the prince or the dwarves. But anyway,
No,
or
that
like, I
could
want
work,
to
but
see his backstory.
I guess, but sometimes it's just, like, not worth it sometimes when
I
trying
mean, it'd
to
be
end
more
these
interesting at least. But yeah, anyway, gonna read it.
it just shows that they were trying or pushing their luck right there. I think this idea could work for a follow-up to Snow White.
Yeah.
Because how can you top the first Snow White? You can't.
Well, I mean, it's weird that they never touched it because they did. They've done Cinderella sequel. Actually, they never did Sleeping Beauty either, which I find surprising. So,
Well, they did Maleficent, though.
no,
Well,
I'm saying they never did a direct to video
oh, okay,
Sleeping
right.
Beauty, but they did Cinderella.
Gotcha. Well, like,
Of the
nostalgic ones
princess,
are
of
the
the
Dwarf
princess
brothers.
movies, yeah, of the princess movies, the only ones they never touched were for direct to video. It was Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, and Princess and the Frog. But it's because Princess and the Frog came so late. But
True.
they actually made a TV series for Tangled.
I haven't seen those.
No, it's pretty good. But yeah, they never. Yeah, and Frozen, of course, is getting 3 and 4 now. Which I like Frozen 2. That's another topic. I like Frozen 2 better. I like Frozen 2 better than the original. But that's because I don't like the original.
I barely pay attention to Frozen anymore.
Well, I think the second one's better, because it's darker, surprisingly.
Right. Well, actually, did you ever go on the ride at Disney World to Snow White?
Oh my gosh, don't remind me. I missed that ride so much.
Oh, they got rid of it?
Yeah, it's been gone. They replaced it with the Mine Train roller coaster, which I think is not a good replacement. It's a different ride, and it's a lot shorter. So.
Oh, really? I didn't know they closed. Wait, what?
Yeah, they closed it. I rode it like 2 weeks before it closed. I didn't even know they were going to close it, and that's probably why I have so much affection for the movie. Is because I used to love that ride so much.
Right.
Yeah.
Even it closed before.
It closed in 2012.
Okay.
Like 13 years ago. Yeah.
Well, because wait, is it because I have only been to Florida Disney.
Yeah, the Disneyland one is still there. They updated it recently, but they closed the one in Florida.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to like that ride too. It was really good.
Well, do you know that the original version for that ride was like really scary, and they actually had to tone it down?
Interesting. I didn't know that.
So for the first, from like 1971 through 93, it was just called Snow White's Adventures, and it was a ride full of jump scares. It was really scary.
It sounds scary.
Snow White wasn't in the ride at all, and it was just the witch, because you were supposed to be from Snow White's perspective, and the witch shows up 7 times, and like a couple times, like literally jump scares you, and then they closed that. They replaced it with a version that is less scary, but they actually called it Snow White's Scary Adventures, which makes it more.
I didn't know that.
So they added scary to the name of the less scary version.
Interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah, and that's the version I rode.
Okay. Well, the one I remember.
The original version, it is possibly the scariest ride Disney ever made.
Yeah. Well, I can remember like what.
It's hilarious. It's so mean. It's so mean how scary it is. Oh my gosh.
I can remember at the end of the ride, basically, it ends where the witch gets killed.
Well, no, it ends with the kiss.
Right.
They have the scene with the prince at the end, which is the Disneyland version did not until recently. The original version ended with the witch getting killed, and the original Disney World ride ended with the witch getting killed. And then they changed it. They added the happy scene at the end. And
right.
They toned down, but there were still some scary scenes. Like there were some scenes in the dungeon which I loved. Because that's my favorite part of the movie, the witch's dungeon.
Yeah, I can see why.
And magic mirror. Of course I.
Yeah. Well, especially when you look at the castle, it looks a little bit identical to like Wizard of Oz a little bit.
Yeah. Wizard of Oz would not exist without Snow White.
That's true, yeah.
Because
Because if
they
you
were
like watch,
inspired, they came out a couple years after, and it was heavily
true.
inspired.
If you watch like the Wizard of Oz and Snow White, you can like compare the castle look designs. Like, yeah, this is where like Wizard of Oz was inspired for the castle look for Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Also,
Because I don't think
one
they
thing
would have
was
gotten agreement without Snow White existing to show that. Because fantasy movies weren't really a thing back then.
true,
So.
true.
They actually, at the beginning of Wizard of Oz, they had a whole disclaimer about it's okay to watch a fantasy, basically. They were like telling you there's a whole like paragraphs about make believe and or something like that. It's
Gotcha.
really weird. Yeah.
Gotcha. Also, one thing I do want to say about when I was a kid, like watching it on VHS tape, I used to think that the film was like recent at the time, and not knowing that it went far back as way before I was born.
And what? Sorry?
I'm saying that when I used to like watch it on VHS tape, I used to think it was a recent like modern Disney movie.
Oh. I had the opposite with Beauty and the Beast. I used to think Beauty and the Beast was an old Disney movie.
I used to think every like
Roy Disney introduced it, and I thought he was Walt Disney because I was like little, and he looks like him. So
right, yeah, no, right. It opens up with Roy Disney.
Recording I had, but no, because that is the most. Actually, Beauty and the Beast is the most classic feeling of the modern Disney movies. It takes a lot from Snow White and Sleeping Beauty, especially.
True.
Yeah.
True. Different story for another day, I guess.
Oh yeah,
Anything else you want to add? I think we can just end it right here, I guess, or
yeah.
Yeah. All right, that wraps up today's video. We will see you all next time. Signing out. Say bye, Eric.
Bye.